Are you feeling lost, scared, and broken, like you have no idea what to do with your life? I've been there. What if I told you that the key to getting through this darkness is inside you? In this video, we'll talk about how Miyamoto Musashi's lessons on self-awareness changed my life and how they can change yours too. Lesson 1. Mindfulness of health needs. I didn't take care of my health when I was lost. I thought I could keep going even though I was tired and stressed out without any problems. What my body did, though, was fight back. I felt tired, sluggish, and uninspired. This woke me up. Musashi said that discipline was important in all parts of life, including the health of your body and mind. He knew that a fighter couldn't fight if his mind or body were weak. Because of what he taught me, I began to care about my health. I started to eat healthy foods, get enough sleep, and work out daily. Being self-aware helped me see how my bad habits were making my problems worse. It wasn't just about getting fit, it was also about getting closer to myself. When I paid attention to what my body needed, things changed. I had more energy, my mind was clearer, and I felt like I had more power. Musashi taught that the mind and body are linked. When your body is weak, your mind is weak too. Taking care of my health made me stronger. This was the first step in my change. As long as I felt physically strong, I was ready to take on any task. It's not selfish to take care of yourself. You need to. First, ask yourself if you're getting enough rest if you're having a hard time. What are you putting into your body? Do you move around enough? Even though these small acts may not seem important, they have a big effect. Being self-aware helped me learn to listen to my body, which kept me from falling further and further down the path I was on. I was able to take charge of my life after improving my health. Lesson 2. Positive relationship actions. I pushed people away when I was at my worst. I shut myself off because I thought no one would understand my pain. I let my relationships fall apart because I was too busy dealing with my own problems. But Musashi taught that everyone should always be aware of what's going on around them, including the people they know. He thought it was just as important to understand other people as it was to understand yourself. By becoming more self-aware, I saw that my relationships were hurting not because people had left me, but because I wasn't taking care of them. I asked for love and help but got nothing in return. I started making good changes when I became aware of what I was doing. I tried to show appreciation, listen more, and be fully present in the conversations I had. I stopped taking people for granted and began to value having them in my life. Being self-aware helped me see how I contributed to both the good and bad parts of my relationships. See what you can't see with your eyes, Musashi once said. This means going deeper than what's obvious and knowing other people's feelings, goals, and struggles. I learned how to talk to people better, understand how they feel, and value the people in my life. In return, my relationships got better. When you know yourself better, you understand that relationships are not about controlling or expecting others, but about respecting and knowing each other. Being mindful is important for all interactions, whether they are with family, friends, or a partner. Are you present when you talk to people? Do you really hear me? Do you expect to get as much as you give? Musashi thought that getting along with others would help you grow as a person. I saw this for myself. My life got better when I started taking charge of my relationships. I used to feel lonely, but that went away as I made relationships that made my journey stronger. Lesson 3. Mindful and effective work. Musashi thought that work, like fighting, should be done with full focus and awareness. You must understand that there is more than one path to the top of the mountain, he wrote in the Book of 5 Rings. This means that how you do your job, whether it's a job, a hobby, or even something you have to do every day, decides how successful and happy you are with it. When I was feeling bad, I thought of work as a hardship. I dragged myself through each job while keeping track of the time. Not being involved drained my energy and made even easy chores seem impossible. But by knowing myself, I saw that the issue wasn't the work itself, but my attitude towards it. When I didn't have a reason to do something, I felt distant, distracted, and unmotivated. Musashi stressed how important it was to be present in everything. He thought that you could become a master at anything by putting all of your attention on it, like drawing, writing, or wielding a sword. I started to use this idea in my own work. I didn't treat it like a job. Instead, I went into it with interest and purpose. What did I learn from this? How could I do this better? What does this have to do with my growth? Everything changed because of these questions. Plus, I got rid of any distractions. It was told by Musashi that discipline means getting rid of things that aren't needed. I gave up doing more than one thing at once and started doing deep, focused work instead. I planned my day, made clear goals, and worked with a sense of purpose. As a result, I got more done, felt less stressed, and, strangely enough, loved what I was doing more. If you're stuck on your work, think about how you're thinking about it. Does it matter to you? Or are you just going through the motions? Are the things you're doing in line with your goals and values? When you know yourself well, you can turn even the most boring chores into something important. Focus and purpose at work will lead to success, not just in terms of getting things done, but also in terms of feeling fulfilled. Lesson 4. Living in the present moment. Thoughts of the past and worries about the future kept me stuck in my own mind for years. I kept thinking about the mistakes I had made and doubted every choice I had ever made. But I was always afraid of what was coming next. What if I failed again? What if things got worse? This never-ending loop of thinking too much made me paralyzed and unable to fully enjoy life. The famous ninja Miyamoto Musashi knew how important it was to live in the present. He thought that a fighter had to stay focused on the now at all times because he knew that he could die in battle if he paused or got distracted. He wrote, "Don't feel bad about what you did." These words change how I saw things. If regret only makes us feel sorry for ourselves, it's not a useful feeling. As Musashi taught, we shouldn't dwell on the past. Instead, we should learn from it and move on with purpose and focus. Being self-aware helped me see that I was losing time and energy on things I couldn't change. I could not change the past, no matter how much I wanted to. Worrying wouldn't change what would happen. While I couldn't change the past, I could change the present and how I spent my time, energy, and attention. I started to be more aware. I paid full attention to what was going on around me, participated fully in talks, and enjoyed the little things I'd been missing before. I learned to deal with things that were bothering me and focus on what was important. As time went on, I noticed something amazing. I felt less stressed, my mind was better, and I had a peace I hadn't had in years. Musashi thought that being fully present was the only way to be truly strong. To keep his mind sharp, his body in shape, and his spirit at ease, he trained them all. I followed what he did. I stopped letting my past define me and stopped being afraid of what the future might hold. Instead, I deliberated how I would enjoy each moment. If you feel lost or stressed, ask yourself if you are really in the present moment or if your mind is wandering to the past or the future. You can find the answers you're looking for right now, here and now. Lesson 5. Better decision making. Making choices was one of the hardest things for me when I was lost, scared, and broken. I always questioned my decisions because I was afraid of making the wrong one. I didn't want to say anything, whether it was about my job, my connections, or my personal growth. This hesitancy wasn't just me thinking too much. It kept me stuck in a loop of doubt, regret, and inaction. I couldn't do anything because I was afraid of failing, so I didn't make any real progress in life. Miyamoto Musashi was very good at planning and following rules. One of the most important things he taught people was how to make decisions. He thought that hesitating would get him killed in fight or in life. It's easy for him to explain. Once you decide, do it without hesitation. Everything changed for me when I thought this way. Being self-aware helped me see that my indecision was caused by fear. Fear of being judged, failing, and making mistakes. But Musashi's lessons helped me see things differently. He taught that there is no such thing as a good choice. There is only doing something and learning from it. Making mistakes is a normal part of growing up. My life changed when I started to believe in my gut and make decisions with certainty. Not spending time thinking about all the what-ifs, I focused on doing something. Interesting enough, I learned faster and got stronger when I stuck to my decisions, even if they weren't perfect. Musashi also said it was important to accept things as they are. He taught that feelings shouldn't get in the way of making decisions. Instead of fear and impulse, I started making choices based on reason, clarity, and the long run. I asked myself, will making this choice help me grow? Does it fit with what I believe in? Will I feel bad that I didn't do something? Asterisk, these questions help me make better decisions. If you have trouble making choices, start by becoming more self-aware. Figure out what's stopping you. Are you scared that you'll fail? Are you trying to be perfect? Know that there are risks in every choice you make, but doing nothing is the worst mistake you can make. True strength comes from following the road you choose with all your heart, as Musashi taught. Lesson 6. Improved emotional health. When I was at my worst, my feelings ran my life. I wasn't sure how to deal with my anger, sadness, frustration, and even depression. I let my thoughts take over my life instead of dealing with them. I responded without thinking, lashing out in anger, cutting people off, or getting lost in other things. It didn't help at all. The pain didn't go away and got worse over time. Miyamoto Musashi knew that feelings could be strong, but he also knew that the wrong way to handle them could be dangerous. He taught that no matter what, a warrior should stay cool and collected. You must understand that there is more than one path to the top of the mountain. He said to stress how important it was to keep your emotions in check. This means that even though feelings are normal, we shouldn't let them control what we do. We should instead watch them, try to understand them, and learn from them. As I learned more about myself, I started to see my feelings not as enemies, but as signs. I knew something was wrong when I was angry. Being sad made me think about what I valued. Anxiety told me that things were unclear. Instead of responding without thinking, I started to ask myself, why do I feel this way? What's the main reason? How can I react in a helpful way? Everything changed when I changed my point of view. Mindfulness and meditation helped me be present with my feelings instead of running away from them. I began keeping a book and writing down my feelings and thoughts to help me understand them better. I didn't try to hide my feelings. Instead, I accepted them, learned from them, and then let them go. Musashi thought that the best way to deal with life's problems was to keep your cool. Rather than trying to hide your feelings, he told us that real strength comes from being able to control them. I found inner peace by following what he taught. I stopped letting my feelings run my life. I took charge of how I dealt with them. If your feelings are getting the best of you, start by being aware of them. Watch without judging. Take your time with them. Being in charge of your feelings is what it means to have mastery over them. Once you do this, your mind will be truly free.